Cool. All right. Can everybody hear me? What's up? I see a whole bunch of people popping on now. This is awesome. Cool. Can you guys hear me? Let me know in the chat. We got 8 people on so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9 people. A whole bunch of people popping on. Awesome. Can you guys hear me? Let me know in the chat really quick. 13 of you guys on so far. Make sure you got your mics and everything muted just so we can leave questions and all that stuff at the end. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. Cool. We'll wait just a couple minutes until more people pop on here. Awesome. I'm glad we have a whole bunch of people on here. This is cool. What up, Jamie? Brian, Heston, David. Cool. Howie, Hans, Bridget. We got a whole bunch of people on here. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'm not going to delay this. Looks like we got a whole bunch of people on. Normally, everybody's asleep, so this is great. I'm going to talk about Instagram lead generation. We're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to talk about how much you should invest into cryptocurrencies, how you should break that apart. We're going to talk about your investment portfolio, which is different for everybody. And for example, like how much you should invest. So like I have some investments in real estate, some stocks, mutual funds, an IRA back when I believed in those, and then cryptocurrency. I don't have all my eggs in one basket. So we're going to talk about kind of strategies with that. I have a special offer for you guys sticking around to the end. And I also am going to need a whole bunch of feedback from you guys as far as what goes on with Millionaire Mafia 2018. So for the current members, I'm going to have a few questions that I ask you guys at the end. And then, of course, the promotion that we have for this week. So for those of you that are brand new to me, have no idea who I am, and are wondering what a dude that didn't go to college is doing teaching, you guys, my name is Ben. I worked in sales for 4 years. I got out of high school. I went into a technical college for 4 months, said, screw this. Nope, I don't like it. And what I'm being trained to do, I know I'm going to be very good at, and I'm not okay getting paid $12 an hour. So I went back home. I went from Washington to South Dakota and then drove all the way back home and lived in my mom's basement for like 2 months, literally just planning, writing stuff down, documenting things, and doing all that OCD, ADD, ADHD stuff that you all know I do. And then I went into sales. I found a job on Craigslist. I spent 3 years and 9 months in sales, which was really good for me because I learned how to talk to people. I learned how to sell. I learned how to build relationships. And being in sales, especially in car industry and boats and motorhomes and different things like that, it's like having your own business within inside a business. As long as you're producing, they don't really care what you do. So they left me alone, and I went from selling 9 cars a month to 28 cars in a month, which is really, really, really good in the sales industry. And it got me to the point where I was one of like the top 10 highest volume Hyundai sales consultants in my state out of like 53 dealers, which you might be thinking Hyundai, but it's a high volume car. It competes with Honda, Toyota, Mazda. And I spent 3 years and 9 months there, and I was like, you know what? I'm getting somebody else to become rich, and I'm just done. Like, this isn't okay with me. I'm making good money. By the time I was 21, 22, whatever, I had made over $100,000. I was making over $100,000 a year, and the average sales consultant makes about $43,000 a year in the car industry. So I was doing good. I bought myself this house that I live in, and it just wasn't enough because many of you probably been there. I was working like 63 hours per week, being the first one there, the last to leave, and it was just like, come on, this is not a life to live, just to spend a weekend paying bills and catching up. So I quit. I was looking at things like Instagram, for example, trying to figure out how to make money on Instagram, and a lot of you guys are trying to do that and are doing that. So we'll talk about that too. And Instagram was the first thing that made it for me. I started working on Instagram. It took me about 13 months before I really busted it. It literally took me about 13 months to make $27. I was trying to figure out how to make money on Instagram, and I ended up selling a shout out for $27 on August 13th, 2016 for $27. And that just told me like, hey, I got to add a couple zeros behind this. That's all. There's another way. There's more opportunities inside Instagram. And by November of that year, I had finally figured it out. And November was my first full month in business for myself, November of 2016. I made $12,753 online through Instagram, and then never really went back. And then, of course, that snowballed and snowballed and snowballed and created the programs that we have in Millionaire Mafia today. But along with that, I started investing in cryptocurrency in 2015, but I didn't really do anything with it or understand it until about January 6th of 2017. And in this year, I've accumulated about 40 Bitcoin now. I hold about 17 in Poloniex, which is a day trading platform. I hold a little bit in Bittrex. I keep Poloniex just as kind of a strategy to make sure I don't spend money myself. I keep one huge portion in one exchange. So I just kind of sit there, hold it long term. And then I do all my little day trading profits inside Bittrex. There's not like a good or bad to that. It's just like a mental thing for me. I keep part of it in one area that I don't really touch. I just kind of sit there, leave it, put a whole bunch of high sell orders in, and one day there'll be a whole bunch of Bitcoin in there. And then I take profits from there once in a while, bring it over to Bittrex, and I just day trade for the short-term profits. So that's what we're going to talk about, guys. I'm going to start off by talking about lead generation with Instagram, and I'm not going to stick around too long on it. I want to talk about one specific strategy, and that is a new feature that I've seen a couple Millionaire Mafia members start to utilize, and I'm actually going to use one as an example that you really want to use. Instagram recently, I'm going to bring this up and I'll screen share. Instagram recently has brought on this really cool new feature that allows people to pin story posts. So what I mean by that is like you can choose stories from the past that you have posted and you can like pin them to your account, to your profile. So anytime people come to visit your profile, they're going to see your logo and your bio and your username and everything your bio says first. And then before they see all your pictures and videos and content in there, they're going to see this line of like story posts. And those story posts should be utilized to provide factual information, introduce yourself, provide value, and pitch. So I'm going to show you guys kind of the formula that I'm creating. Like I'm creating a whole bunch of new content I'm using it as an opportunity to like create brand new stories that I've never posted before. Like what do I want people to understand or know or feel? What do I want expressed about Millionaire Mafia? And so I want them to have an introduction to me and what I do, and to the vision, to the message that I'm trying to get out there, and to build some value and some factual information, and then have some call to action, swipe up, click the link, swipe up, click the link, and so on. So that's what I'm working on cultivating, but I want to show you like a physical example of that. So I'm going to bring up a couple things. Nope, that's not the right email. I need a different email. So let's do that. Mark that on red. This one. And I'm just going to check real quick and see if it opens up on Instagram on the desktop. I don't think we can see it the way I want you to see on the desktop here. So I just took a screenshot just in case. So let's go to Menswear Academy. Let's see if I'll be able to see it on here. No. Okay. All right. So I'm just going to show you on here. Okay. Okay. I'm going to screen share with you guys so you can see. Going back over here and share screen desktop. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Real quick before I continue moving on. I'm glad we got 21 people on here today. That's awesome. If you guys have friends or anything like that that could benefit from this, shoot them your link. Shoot them the link to this. Post it in any of the chats that you're in. Post it on your wall. Let's get some more people on here. Chat. And people say yes. Okay, thank you, Heston. I appreciate that. Okay, so here we're on Menswear Academy. This is actually an account that I just sold. So for all of you new people, if that's any hint, you can build accounts once you know how to do that, and you can sell them. If you look right here, you can see like right down here, this is where their profile would be. If you scroll down, their profile would be down in here. So you see their logo, you see kind of their caption or their tagline, men's attire and tutorials, product service, and then their bio and so on. And they've got a link in here. But what I wanted to show you guys is like, they've taken a story and you're able to label it. So you're able to literally like label your story. Fixed teeth gaps, new haircut, fold a suit, the right way versus the wrong way. There's a tutorial here. It's kind of cut off. This is a really good, like this person's clearly, I sold this account to Andreas, one of the Millionaire Mafia members, who's doing a really, really good job with it. And I know he's using it for leads for his Shopify store. He's got like a very congruent Shopify store with this. You can go to dappervibe.com and check it out. But this is really cool. So what he's literally doing is just providing value. And I'm telling you guys, like, I don't know what it is about this niche, but like men's fashion, like ties, hex ties, watches, wallets, cologne, money clips, suits, tutorials, tying knots, shoes, shoe laces, how to tie your shoes, skinny ties versus like thick ties, like all these different things, suits versus tuxes, 3-piece suits versus 2-piece suits, all of these things. I don't know why, but it seems like India really loves this. All the guys in India really love this. And a lot of the big followings you'll get in this niche are Indian, you know, like East Indian, like from India or Pakistan and different places like that. Or you'll get United States. Those are like the biggest 2 followings, but they love it. They just absolutely cling on to this. When I had this account, I was getting inbox messages daily. People were almost mad. Like, you don't post enough suits. We want to see suits. Like, you need to post more suits. I want to learn how to tie a tie. Okay, stop posting models and different stuff like that. Show us how to tie ties. And that's just telling me, like, great, here's what everybody likes that they want me to post. And if I back that up by like some product or some Shopify products, or, you know, my own Amazon product, or I'm an affiliate of an Amazon product that's in this niche, like, it'll take off. So Andreas has done that, and he has leads going to a Shopify store for this, but providing value right in here. Like, how cool is this? So you've got a profile that shows like pictures and value-based captions on things like this. And then you're building so much value through this. You're posting daily stories. You can see there was a story going on here by this IG color highlight around the logo. That means they posted a story or they are live. All right. So he's using all these features of this account, and he's pinned a whole bunch of different like tutorials on here and factual information. Now, if it were me, what I would be doing is I would have an intro as my first caption, or as my first pinned story. So the very first story would be an intro. That could be, it should be like a 14 to 15 second video. So a story can be 15 seconds. Each one of these, as far as I can tell, is like one slide. So one slide here, one slide here, one slide here, here, and here, and so on. So it could be a picture or a 15-second video, a picture or a 15-second video. My first one has a formula that I want you guys to understand if you want to use this to generate leads. When you're generating leads and you're getting people to join your brand or your business or whatever it is, you're not going to sell shit without branding yourself, unless you already have a status of Grant Cardone or Les Brown or Eric Thomas or Gary Vaynerchuk or Tony Robbins or Jay-Z or something like that. All right, you're already branded. But for those of us that are really working on that, you need to brand yourself first, especially if you have an account where you're literally reposting other people's pictures to go viral and represent your own niche and stuff. And you definitely need to brand yourself in that case, because you have to put a face to your name. So this first one should be an intro. Hey, what's up, guys? It's Ben Oberg from Millionaire Mafia. Just want to thank you guys for following me. If you're new, here's what you're going to see, this, and this. You're going to get daily luxury, motivation, and lifestyle content. This is what we do. This is the Millionaire Mafia lifestyle. Follow us for more. Let me know how I can help anytime. Thank you so much. Keep it 15 seconds. Something like that, right? So your first one should be an intro. A little bit about you, what you do, what they should expect to see on this profile, what you're here to contribute, what's your message, what's the vision that you're trying to get out there, right? That would be the first one. Now you can be recording in your home, right where I am, right here. You could be out in a cool area. Heck, when I wasn't actually making it, I'd go right across the street to these $1 million homes right on the other side of the street. Like, I can throw a rock behind me and I can hit the ocean right here, because the other side of the street is waterfront. And a couple of these homes right back here are like $1 million homes. Well, most of them all are. But there's one home here where people don't even live in it because the idiot that built it made his garage doors too small and he can't even fit his damn car in it. And that made him decide, instead of fixing that, he was like, fuck this, I'm not living here. So back in the past, anytime I wanted to record a really cool video, I would just trespass on his property. I'd go over there to the waterfront there, which is really beautiful over there, and I would record stuff. Or I'd just be like, I'd like go live from there, right? So you can do that. If you got a really fancy house, yours isn't fancy, just use somebody else's resources and do that. Anyways, record something for an intro. The next video should go from an intro to some value. So whatever it is that your niche, say you're in the travel niche and you love talking about travel, you love updating people on like whatever it is. I'm going to stop this share, come back to me real quick. You love updating people on like travel spots. Like, hey guys, you know, if you're looking for the best travel destination of 2018, you're going to love Costa Rica. You're going to find that the food is amazing. It's very laid back. If you've ever been to places like Thailand, Thailand's really awesome, but you feel like you're going to get run over because they stack like 15 mopeds wide on you, and there's like 9 children and 7 goats on each one. And if that's not your style, you can go to Costa Rica. It's going to be like, you can breathe, you can calm down, you can relax. They're selling coconuts on the beach with coconut water and stuff. People are surfing. It's just laid back. Mountains are beautiful. Swipe up, check this out, Costa Rica. Provide some value, like something. It could be literally just a screenshot with a quote on it. That's motivational, or that's, you know, some sort of little value. And then the next one would provide a little bit more value on maybe something else. And you can label these. You can be like, the first one, intro, what is Millionaire Mafia? Who is Jamie Anthony? Blah, 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 whatever, all right? And then the second one, value, and it would usually just label it like best top #1 vacation spot 2018. Best holiday spot winter 2017-18, whatever. And then you go to your next value one. So intro, value, value. So where I'm going to go in is intro, value, value, pitch, value, value, pitch. So I'm going to fill my profile with at least 7. I'm going to have an intro, value, value, pitch, value, value, pitch. And I will decide whether those posts are going to be a combination of pictures and videos that I record, pictures and screencast type videos, or whatever the case may be. But at bottom line, I'm going to post minimum 7 slides on there, and I'm not sure how many you can post yet. I have yet to find out. I think you can post like 13 or 14 actually. So I'm going to utilize all of those, but I really want the best ones to show up front. So the ones that people see very first when they go there, I want those to show. So I'm going to have a value, an intro, excuse me. I'm going to have an intro, value, value, pitch, value, value, pitch, and that's going to be my order. So I'm telling you guys, write that down. If you want to have lead generation with Instagram, intro, value, value, pitch, value, value, pitch. And this is yet a 4th element that I would consider you can use to generate leads in your Instagram. And we'll go over those real quick, and then we're going to go into Bitcoin, all right? So with Instagram, inside your profile, things that you can do yourself without needing to pay for anything or rely on anybody else to produce traffic is call to action content in your actual profile, Instagram story, so that's #2, Instagram live is #3, and previously those would have been the only 3 ways. Now there's a 4th way, which would be Instagram pin stories. So between all of these, you shouldn't have a problem. If you know how to grow an Instagram, and if you don't, you need to join Millionaire Mafia and go to millionairemafiaempire.com and get our Instagram course, just hands down, okay? But if you know how to successfully grow an Instagram profile, you should be utilizing all of those. So call to action content inside your profile, Instagram stories, Instagram live, and Instagram pin stories. Here's what those would look like. When you have a profile and you're posting on your account, providing value, sharing images, pictures, videos, all this different stuff, you can hit them with a video all of a sudden. And that video can have an introduction, it's hyped, whatever it is. Like, for example, Millionaire Mafia is like luxury, lifestyle, entrepreneurial type vision. And what I post in there is all that stuff. Cars, watches, Rolexes, things that I drool over. Some pictures are, a lot of them are actually mine, maybe not a lot, but maybe like 36 of those pictures out of like 550 or whatever are mine. And you get the whole vibe in there. Well, when I'm going to post a call to action content, I got my link in my bio already there. My call to action content is like a video that's like, travel when you want, where you want, with whoever you want, fire your boss, tired of the 9-to-5 life, want to actually get paid what you're worth for the very first time. Guess what? Eliminate the middleman. You don't need a boss. Instead of making that boss rich and fulfilling all his or her dreams, why don't you fill yours? You're either going to work for somebody that has goals, or you're going to be the person that has goals. Achieve greatness, join the Mafia, link in bio. And I have like a 30, 45-second video that's got all this hype, music in the background, people having fun, out on yachts, girls in bikinis, people driving fast cars, whatever, link in bio, join the Mafia. And people watch that stuff, it goes viral. You can get 100 clicks on a bad video that doesn't go viral. You can get 1,600 clicks in a single day on a video that goes major viral. You're not spending any money for that, rather than buying solo ads, rather than doing some sort of Facebook or YouTube campaigns or paid traffic. Like, I don't believe in driving traffic to anything without branding yourself. So put that in there. That's call to action content. If you have quotes in your account and different things like that, you can get away with literally value quote, value quote, value quote, value quote, call to action quote. Link in bio for XYZ. Join right now. And that's call to action content, all right? Stories, you can use in a different way. So you upload a story on Instagram. You can upload anything onto an Instagram story that has been saved on your phone within the last 24 hours. If it hasn't been saved on your phone within the last 24 hours, well, then you can just literally record something right there, or you can take a picture right there. A lot of times I'll just like put my phone on the desk and take a picture so it's like all black, and then I'll like put like a quote in it and some emojis and different things like that. So with my stories, what I'm looking to do is provide value, pitch, value, pitch. And you can run like 20, 30 stories in a day. You want to see somebody that does really good with Instagram stories, go to an account. I'm going to type it in here, like Iconic. Let me check the spelling on that actually really quick, because it's like a weird spelling. And this is a company, for example, that's providing value. Iconic, yeah. At Iconic or at, you don't have to do it right now, at Millionaire. Everybody knows Millionaire Mentor. Everybody knows Jason. Millionaire Mentor. That guy doesn't go a day without posting multiple stories. And these are two examples of people where you're going to look at their stories. It's going to be like them building value in like what they do. Like Jason's got, you know, a Lamborghini, super hot wife, an awesome family, a really cool house that just got hit by a hurricane that is okay now because he lives in Florida, but like it's really cool stuff. And they always go eat like fancy dinners and shit like that. Like I swear they don't go a day without eating sushi, but like they post all this stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, here's my Instagram course. Hey, like here's my Shopify store. You guys want to get into cryptocurrency? Here's the latest ICO. Swipe up, and then he's back into the value. Stories should be yet again another thing where you can do value, pitch, value, pitch, value, pitch. And so you're building value, you're putting a face to your account. This is one of the places where you put a face to your account, you brand. It can be you talking and recording, it can be people seeing you, it could be some sort of, you know, video that you pay for on Fiverr.com, $5 to get made, that's got a whole bunch of stick figures doing something cool, like ABC sort of stuff, swipe up. It could be, you could be freaking baking cookies and just show people how you live, what you do, whatever. And then the next story is some sort of swipe up for XYZ, get 57% off right now, promo code, blah, 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 blah. All that stuff. You can use Instagram stories to provide value and then pitch. Don't ever get right into the pitching with anything, all right? You always provide value first and then pitch. Got to get people interested before you can sell your product. So that's what I'm talking about with Instagram stories. And you can just keep uploading them throughout the day. They will show for 24 hours. I just had Raymond Tan, I believe is his name. He just posted a story. It only got 2,700 views, which is easy. Like 2,700 views is just like standard. Like a big account, like, and he doesn't even have a big account. Like he got a lot of views for how small his account is. Like a shitty, huge Instagram account will get 2,700 views on a story. They'll get 3,000 views on a story, 100 clicks all day long. So if you're doing this, you can do this like 3, 4, 5 times a week, call to action post. You can get a few hundred clicks. And then you got your pinned story posts that are easily generated a few hundred passive clicks. And if you're putting effort, you got your story posts, which are literally passive, like boom, they're there. And you can switch them out anytime you want, but the pinned ones, they're there. And that's gonna be a few hundred passive clicks per month, or excuse me, per week. And then you do your Instagram story, that's a few hundred passive clicks per week to any link you want. So you literally have your pinned story posts, which can go to wherever you want. You've got your profile link that's just going to be there right in your bio that is passive. So you've got 2 passive streams of funneling traffic right there. You've got your call to action content, which you'll have to put consistent effort in as often as you want to post call to action content. And then you've got your call to action stories that follow value-based stories. And those 2 areas, call to action content and then your story like swipe up, click the link, those 2 obviously take consistent effort, but you've got your link in bio and you've got your pinned stories that are passive traffic. And then you've got your stories that you actually create and post and your call to action content that you got to put some effort in. If you're doing all those, bottom line, you will get 1,000 clicks a week. 1,500 clicks a week, 2,000 clicks a week, like easy, game over, done. Like that's just how it'll be. If you go live, you'll get more and you can sell high ticket stuff. A lot of people are not comfortable with going live anywhere. I'm talking to you guys, freestyling this whole thing. 2 minutes from now, I have no idea what the heck I'm gonna be saying because I'm like super ADD and ADHD. I have no freaking idea what I'm even gonna talk about like 5 minutes from now. Some of you guys are laughing because you know that's true. But like, be okay with going live. You have to be okay with going live. When you put a face to your name, like there is a new member of Millionaire Mafia, Lisa Culver. I don't know if you're on here right now. I don't see you. Yes, you are. Lisa Culver talked to me on Instagram yesterday. She joined Millionaire Mafia Instagram Mastery yesterday, and she was somebody that had contacted me on Instagram. Never talked to her before. I don't know if Lisa was on my email list or anything like that. Never talked to her before. That was a high ticket sale from Instagram. And she even admitted to me, she's like, I was skeptical. Like I was skeptical because I've tried stuff on Instagram before and I don't know. And she did take the jump and she joined Millionaire Mafia. So everybody say hi to Lisa when you get a chance. She's awesome, all right? She is like living on a yacht right now in the middle of the Bahamas for her work. So she simply wants to go from working for somebody else living on a yacht to like doing it herself, which is pretty awesome. So we can help her do that. But anyways, that was a sale from Instagram. But I told her like, hey, I'm about to go live on Facebook. Here's my link. If you want to go watch me on Facebook Live and learn, you know, a few other things, feel free to do so. And after my live, she's like, you know, seeing you talk on your live is like, it's way better to me because you can see you and like everybody can see you. They can see that you're trustworthy. It doesn't seem like a scam. Like you seem like you know what you're talking about and stuff. So like that's my point. When people see you, they get a chance, especially when they're not in front of you. Like all of you guys, the only person that I can see that has a video on right now is Jamie Anthony, and she might not even know that her video is on, but I can see her. Anyways, like you don't have a chance to be in front of somebody. Like if you can't have a chance to actually be in front of somebody and put like a first impression on, for example, if people can't actually see you and see what you look like or understand your voice or hear your tone, like if they're reading an email and things like that, when you're reading an email, like here's how I'm going to read, the highlights options aren't working on my account. Any idea how I can make it work? Like if you were speaking that to me, I would hear your tone, but I'm going to read that like the highlight options aren't working on my account. Any idea how I can make it work? Like, you know what I mean? I'm not going to hear any tone with that. So Instagram Live, Facebook Live, YouTube live streams are your best way to sell. Like I firmly believe in that. The best way to sell is when you put your face in front of the person, when people can hear your tone, can hear how sincere you are, they can hear you introduce yourself, build value, relate to them, tell a story, and then pitch your product. And there is no reason, like guys, you see me go live on Facebook all the time. I can count on less than all my fingers the amount of times I've gone live on Facebook and not sold a product. Like I'm not kidding. I've gone live hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of times in the last 12 months on Facebook. There's been less than 10 times where I haven't sold a product from that live. Every single time, I always do. And the lowest product I've ever sold on there is Crypto Mastery. Usually I'm selling a 597, a 697, or a 1297 product, and I will sell 2 to 6 of them every single time. So it's worth it for me to dedicate a half hour going live and another 15 minutes following up. And if that's the one thing that produces the most results for you, you can spend 45 minutes a day making all your money for that day. So you got to be willing to get out there, and it's a great way to brand yourself. And the thing about Instagram is that Instagram's way more engaging than Facebook. The statistics show that it's 83% more engaging, and you've heard me say that before. That simply means 100 followers on Instagram is more volatile than 20 friends on Facebook. The amount of likes, the amount of views, the amount of comments, different things you're going to get. I think it was Mark Shankman who said that he went live on Instagram the other day. He had 100 people on there. And I don't think Mark's account is big. It's not 100K. It's not 50. I mean, I don't know. But he had 100 people on there. It's not a huge influencer account. He had 100 people on there. With 100 people, if you're going to relate, build value, tell a story, and then pitch, as long as you have a good product and you work on developing your speaking skills, which I didn't have a very long time ago. I didn't. My speaking skills have been developed by doing this and just going out there and just getting out of my comfort zone and going live, all right? I have no shame. I don't care about embarrassing myself. Like, I don't care. I told people today that they had 100 people on here, I'd take my shirt off. I was kind of kidding, but if that did happen, I would probably, Jamie, I see you. I'd probably have to do that. Anyways, so get out of your comfort zone. Use that as a strategy. Call to action content, Instagram stories, pinned story post, Instagram live. And those are all necessary elements to branding, because when you're just reposting, you look like every other account. You're not being different. So you need to put yourself out there and get people to brand to you, to be branded to you, to want to share your vision. And that's really going to help 10x your engagement on your account in a snowball effect, and be able to monetize it quicker. If anybody did that consistently for 6 months, you will hands down be making passive money at the end of 6 months. You straight up will, every single time. So does everybody get that? Like, do you understand? I'll look at the couple questions that I have in there, but then we're gonna move on. We've been on here about a half hour. I only want to keep it on here about another 30 minutes. And I have a huge mega offer for a whole bunch of people at the end here. So please stick around. But let's see, the highlights options aren't working on my account. Any idea how I can make it work? Make sure your account is a business account. So convert it to business account. If you go into edit profile, scroll down, you'll see convert to business, which means you just have to pair it with a Facebook page. If it's paired already and it is a business account, it may be because you have less than 10,000 followers. In order to, okay, nope, it's not. So you have a business account and you have more than 10K followers. All right, message me on Facebook after this. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But that should be something that shows. If it doesn't show, also, I noticed that's a feature that they phased in. A lot of times they'll phase in like a beta feature, and they'll phase it in to certain locations first. I don't know why it is, but they'll like phase it into certain accounts first. A lot of you guys had some analytics prior to me, like they changed the way you see Instagram analytics. You guys had that new interface. A lot of you did before I did. I only got it like a week ago. Some of you guys had it like 3-4 weeks ago. So that might be why too. Awesome. John Medina, I joined through one of your Facebook live streams. Awesome. Appreciate it, John. Charles Ben, what should I do to get good at speaking to others? Dude, just practicing. I see you go live all the time, man. And I see people listen and stuff like that. Just get good at speaking. I mean, I always go on with a point. Like, I don't know what I'm going to say. I might take a couple notes before I go live, but I like have the vision of what I want to say already down. And I use 5 points that I want to bring up, which is introduce myself, relate to people, build value, tell a story, and then pitch. Those are like the 5 things. And if you're not there to pitch a product or sell something, then it's just introduce yourself, relate, build value, tell a story. But those are the 5 things I do. I introduce myself. Hey, what's up, guys? Ben Oberg from Millionaire Mafia. I used to be in school, went to college for 4 months, said screw it. I went into sales for four years. Now I'm here working for myself. And I just want to share a little bit of value with how you guys can do the same thing. Hopefully something I say is going to resonate with you. Maybe you've been there. Maybe you're currently going through it. In either case, this is for everybody to learn from. Everybody will take away something from this. So please stick around to the end. I got a lot of things that I can do to help you out, and I want to provide as much value as possible. That'd be my intro. Relating to people, tell a story, and building value. Those 3 things all go together, because in order to relate to somebody, you're usually telling a story. And in order to keep those people around, you usually have to build value. Like all 27 of you guys on here, if you all disappeared right now, that would either be because you're not interested in what I'm saying, or I am not conveying it well. That's usually what it's going to be. So as long as you're telling a story and relating to them, you're probably building value. Like all 3 of those go hand in hand. So if you want to write that down, introduce yourself, relate to people, build value, tell a story, pitch. And those middle 3 all go together. Kind of doesn't matter what order it's in. It's all related. Introduce yourself, build value, relate, tell a story, pitch. And I go at every single live, every single broadcast, every single YouTube, Facebook, Instagram live stream with that in mind. So that's it. And just real quick tip on Instagram and Facebook, when you're doing that, especially Facebook for Facebook algorithms, get people to like and comment, ask them to ask questions, let them know where you're from, what you do for work, different things like that. More comments, more likes on Facebook help that live stream to go viral, and ask them to share. It helps them to go viral. So, all right, guys. I'm going to get on to the next thing, and then I'll answer. I see a whole bunch of questions here. Chris, Daniel, Luna, Sandy Watson. I see a whole bunch of comments there. I will address those, guys. I just want to get into the next stuff. Okay, who wants to talk about Bitcoin? Anybody want to talk about Bitcoin, how to earn Bitcoin, all that different stuff? Because like that's what's going on lately. We do Instagram, we do Bitcoin, and we teach people how to market and how to speak, how to win friends, influence people, just like the book. But I want to talk about some Bitcoin now. So we talked about Instagram, me, Bitcoin. Sure, I like trading. Yes, Luna, Heston, yes, Sandy, me. I don't think that's a word. I think that's something that toddlers say, but okay. Just kidding, Sandy. Awesome. All right, cool. Let's talk about Bitcoin. Well, as you can see, Bitcoin is a lot of money now. It is, let's look, $19,165 right now. It hit, what did it hit? $19,890 yesterday it hit, guys. Here's the thing. Here's something I want you guys to understand. And a lot of you guys, how many of you guys feel like it's too late? Like you missed it? How many of you guys feel like it's too late? You're like, oh shit, like, damn, I missed it. Do any of you guys feel like that? Luna, I am. Okay. It's okay because the whole cryptocurrency industry, this year alone, I want you guys to understand this, like this year alone, towards the beginning of this year, the whole cryptocurrency industry, so if you added up every single cryptocurrency and look at it this way, all the ICOs, all of the coins that were already out there in the beginning of 2017, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dash, Litecoin, some of the biggest ones. If you added up the total market volume, so the price of the coin times the amount that has already been released into the market, plus the amount of crowdfunding it took to launch those ICOs and different things, the whole industry was $100 billion. The whole industry was $100 billion. As of now, it's over 350 billion. We are in the tip of the iceberg. Like we are literally in the tip of the iceberg. When the Titanic hit the iceberg, they didn't know, holy shit, what actually destroyed the Titanic, made it sink, was what hit the ship underneath the surface. Like we haven't even gone there. There's so much more to this iceberg than we can see right now. We're literally on the very tip. We're like a freaking emperor penguin, like standing on the top of it. Like, should I jump off this shit? What should I do? Like literally, we aren't even at the very beginning. It's gone from 100 billion industry to 350 billion this year alone. Largely in part, look what happened in the last 2 months. We saw Bitcoin at like $2,000, $2,500, $3,000 in September, exiting September at like $3,900. It's $20,000 now. It's huge. The next thing that I want you guys to understand is that when you're looking at coins, when you're looking at ICOs, which stands for initial coin offering, in order for a coin to come out and hit the exchanges where it's available for purchase or available for trading, it has to go through a huge, massive amount of funding. All of these coins that come out have numerous amounts of money. You know, like you invest in startup companies that need, you know, a total investment of $3 million or $5 million or something like that, and then they don't make it. That's usually not a problem with cryptocurrencies. You've had millions, 100 million, 50 million, 20 million, 80 million invested to fuel these coins into success on the exchanges to get them out there. So they have tons of money. And what you need to look at, all of these coins, every single one that you ever invest in ICOs and different things like that, you need to look at them as companies, not as a coin that, you know, it goes up in value, yippee, I can make some money, it goes down, I can buy again, it goes up, I can sell, make some profits. You shouldn't look at it that way. You should look at every single one of them as a company. So for example, Ethereum. When Ethereum came out back in, I think, whatever, I can't remember when Ethereum came out, but back in like February, March of this year, there was like 100 something Fortune 500 companies that said, hey, we've met, we've gotten, you know, with our attorneys, we've talked with our financial advisors, we're going to accept Ethereum. So I was listening to a video on an expert had done the other day. I was listening to it last night at like 2 a.m. in the morning, and he was saying like, hey, if I have 100 Fortune 500 companies coming out and saying, this is good enough for me, well, it's good enough for me too then. So you need to understand that. Coins like XRP are coins that have been developed for the banking industry. It's very powerful because we have a coin now available, XRP, which is Ripple, that is, it's basically a coin that allows wire transfers except without wire transfer fees. Like banks are now going to use, let me articulate that better. Instead of sending wire transfers, there's literally hundreds of banks that are about to bring on Ripple as a form of currency for their customers to get funds out of one customer's account into another without having to wait 5 to 7 business days and paying $35 for it to be sent. So when you have banks, 100 different banks, 100 different actual giant banks, not 100 Wells Fargo banks, but like 100 banks of Columbia Credit Union, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase. It's not those banks, but what I'm saying is like 100 different like bank chains saying, hey, this is good enough for me. That's a coin to watch out for. That's a huge coin to watch out for because the purpose, because of how it's contributing to the world, because it's how it's helping, that's huge. You have to understand when you're looking at investing into a coin, you shouldn't be investing in it unless you can look at a coin as a company. What does this coin contribute to life? What sort of value does it bring to the people of this world? Is it there to help them? Like what big problem does this coin solve? And so Ripple's like, okay, you want $35 for a wire transfer? You don't want to wait 5 to 7 days? Like, it's bullshit. Every single time I want to pay a commission to all of you guys, I got to wait a damn week for the money to come out of my account, my merchant account. And then if I wanted to like hit my bank account or, transfer it there and it hits my bank account and I want to like, say some of you guys have like, you want it to be deposited into your bank. Okay, great. From it to go from my bank account to yours, it takes 5 days to get there. And there's no reason for that to happen other than the fact that the bank is going to hold the money for 5 days and send it. I get charged a small fee and they make interest on that. And it might seem like nothing, but when you have millions of people every single week sending wire transfers and the bank's just like, hey, let's hold the money, let's make some interest on it, let's float it, and then we'll send it there. They're making money on your money, and even if it's 1% or 0.5%, it's huge. Ripple solves that problem. So that's one thing to look and go, okay, might be a good coin to invest in, might be a good long-term coin. You also have to realize that Ripple has like 38 billion market supply. It's huge. So in order for Ripple to become worth whatever, $380 billion, that coin has to hit $1. It did hit $1 the other day. In order for it to be worth 600 or 760 billion, it's got to hit $2. That's a lot of money to push. That's a lot of volume to bring. That's a lot of people buying that coin to drive up that value. So there's another side of it that you have to look at. Look at everything that you invest in as a company, okay? Next thing that I want to say, and I'm going to answer your questions, everything in here, so don't worry. We'll wait to the end on that, though. Next thing that I'm going to say is your investment portfolio. Think about this. Cryptocurrency is considered a high-risk investment. Me personally, I'm not giving you financial advice, so don't ever think that. I'm not freaking Edward Jones or something like that. I don't know, not a banker, whatever. But even myself, like I don't invest all of my money in cryptocurrency. Like I hold a lot in cryptocurrency, but I don't invest all of it in there. I like to have my hands in a few different things. As far as investments go, it's one of the only things where I like to have diversification. Diversification in business goals oftentimes isn't so good. When you have 10 different things you want to accomplish, it's hard to accomplish all 10 of those things. You focus on one, become extremely successful at that one, and then you can umbrella out to those other things. Well, with investments, it's the opposite. Like you don't want to have everything in just one thing, if that makes sense, guys. So say, for example, everybody has a different investment portfolio, has a different profile. Say you are 27 years old. Hopefully, I hope there's not somebody that is literally the epitome of what I'm about to say on here. Say you're 27 years old, you have $56,000 of student loan debt, you make $2,200 per month gross. It costs you about $1,200 a month to pay your rent and your car payment and your bills and different things like that. You got $50-something thousand in student loan debt, and you're making $2,200. So by the time they take the taxes out and the government gets their money and all that stuff, you got $1,600. You need $1,200 to live, and you've got $400 left. So say after 1 year, 400 times 12, that's $4,800. That's what you have. Don't put that all in cryptocurrency. Like, you're putting all your eggs in one basket. And what if it all went away? Like, what if it was gone? It's not going to. Like, it's not going to. But all I'm saying is that wouldn't be wise. I would take my $4,800 and go, okay, I'm making enough to live on. I have enough to live on. I've got $4,800 saved, and I'm going to allocate 20% of that to cryptocurrency. So out of 4,800, 960 are going to go to cryptocurrency, right? That's what I'm going to do. 960 is going to go to cryptocurrency. And then I'm going to take, 10%, 15%. I'm going to put something in real estate. Then I'm going to take 10 or 15%. I'm going to put some in stocks. Then I'm going to take 10 or 15%, and I'm going to put it in savings. So I have liquid cash there. Then I'm going to take 10 or 15%. I'm going to do something else with it. That's how you should look at your portfolio. You can decide what ratio that you want to do. I personally hold a lot more than 20% of my liquid net worth or whatever in cryptocurrency. I hold, actually I hold the majority of it. I probably hold 60 to 65% in cryptocurrency, 70 maybe. But like, I'm okay with that because I strongly believe in it, and I know that it's the way of the future. And if it all went away, like, that's a decision I made, I'd be okay. But you need to decide, like, what's your investment portfolio? It's much different if you are 63, retired, your house is paid off, you have no car payments, your only debt is a $1,000 secured credit card that you pay $27 a month on, and you have a 30% balance, which is great for building credit. You guys have credit cards, 30 to 35% of your actual cap. That is great. That's a magic number for credit cards. I came from the finance automotive industry. Credit cards, 30 to 35%. All right, you have a $1,000 credit card, only use $350. You've got 10 cards, want to consolidate them all? Don't do that. It actually hurts your credit. I had a guy that took 10 credit cards. He was only about $300 on each one, $1,000 balances, took it down to one card, had all of it racked up on one card with a higher limit, and his credit went from a 740 to a 620, dropped 120 points because now he looks like he can't manage his money. Anyways, back to this. So your investment portfolio is different. House is paid off, don't have any car payments, got a small credit card, and that's it. You got 100 grand saved up. You can afford to be a little bit riskier with it. Maybe allocate a little bit more towards cryptocurrency, and maybe you're already diversified. Like, you already have multiple holdings in real estate. You've invested in startups. You own a Bitcoin ATM, like whatever. You're diversified all over the place. You can afford to play around a little bit more. So just something to think about with when you're investing in cryptocurrency. Think about that. Let's talk about, what did I write down? Oh yeah, here's what I wanted to talk about. Let's go. You guys want to look at some markets and learn to recognize a couple patterns and stuff like that so you can trade effectively? Let's do that. Who wants to do that? I'm gonna go over to wallets here, and I want to just show you guys something as kind of a cool thing that I do. So I told you earlier that I use, and it's not out of like one's better than the other, I use Poloniex as an area where I like keep my Bitcoin holdings for long term. I have like 17.5 Bitcoin in there. And then once in a while, I take a very small percentage. Once in a while, I'll bring it over to Bittrex, where I manage a small amount of coins, 5, 6, 7 coins, and I use them for day trading profits. So I keep like my long-term investments in Poloniex. And once again, I'm not saying like that's a strategy to do. That's just a way how I mentally go, like, okay, everything in Poloniex, I'm gonna keep and hold. I'm keeping them in there. I'm actually hold basically the same coins in Poloniex that I do in Bittrex. I just keep the ones in Poloniex for long term, like, okay, in 6 months from now, I'm gonna look and see where I'm at. I set notifications all the time in case I have like a sell order in on Poloniex, for example, and it approaches that, but it doesn't hit it, and I miss out. And if I lowered my price just by like 1 penny a coin, would have made hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I keep notifications in between those sells, so I at least know and I can make an educated decision. But I keep that in there for long term, 6 months, 8 months, a year, 3 years, whatever. Because all the people that invested in Bitcoin a year ago or 5 years ago and then sold out once they hit $100, once they hit $1,000, you're feeling like idiots now, right? So if you could just be patient and hold, that's a whole separate mentality. Like, that is one mentality. The other mentality that a lot of people are addicted to is the day trading. What I want you to understand is don't do one without the other. Like, always have a portion of your coins held for the long term. Because when we're creating these day trade profits, we're simply creating profits when the market is tested and tanks back down, and the market's tested and tanks back down, which happens on a micro scale to a fairly substantial scale almost every day or every week or every month. We see those profits. Those are not long term, weekdays, months. Long term is 6 months, a year, 2 years. Please keep a portion of your holdings in that. My strategy to doing that is I just have a separate exchange where I'm like, okay, this exchange is solely dedicated for long term. Get that shit in there, almost forget about it, put some sells in there, anticipating that Ethereum's gonna go way up, Litecoin's gonna go way up, Dash is gonna go way up, Ripple's gonna go way up, Sidecoin's gonna go way up. These are all long-term things, right? And then I come to Bittrex and I'm like, okay, this is where I'm gonna play around with a little bit of money. So what I did last week is I sent $1,000 into Bittrex. I did it on the 4th, so I'm sorry. I did it 13 days ago. I sent $1,000 into Bittrex. That money I turned into $3,300. It was $3,434 actually. It took $1,000. I turned it into $3,434. So I turned it into $2,434 or more than what I invested. I turned $1,000 into $3,434. And I withdrew $1,000 of that and paid somebody that I needed to pay. So they got $1,000 in my Bitcoin, which I hate giving away. But I paid somebody I needed to pay. I turned $1,000 into $3,434. So I made $2,434 simply by investing $1,000 wisely, looking for short-term profits, and turning it into a larger portfolio. And then kept everything else that I had inside another exchange where it is for long term, if that makes sense. Does that make sense, guys? So I'm gonna look. Who said they wanted to see a whole bunch of stuff? Blah, 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 blah. Can you explain day trading more? We'll go into it a little bit here. So I'm going to share my screen with you guys. All right. Let's take a look. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna minimize that. I'm in Bittrex here right now. You can see in the bottom, let me move this maybe right here. See in the bottom, Bitcoin's worth, according to Bittrex, 18,888 right now. All right, so that's what it's worth right now. And in here, the home page, you're going to see all these different markets. So Bitcoin exchanging for ADA is up 23% right now. Today's volume is 23 Bitcoin worth of volume. Last price, 24-hour high, the low, the date it was added onto the exchange. Vertcoin Lumen, Stellar Lumen XLM. This is a coin that in my notifications and alerts chat, there's been multiple trade opportunities with Lumen. There's tons, significant trade opportunities with Lumen. Ripple, that's been going around quite a bit. Ethereum, Litecoin, Digibyte, like all these coins. It's great. I own like 4 million of these coins a while back. This is what I'm saying. Hold them long term. They didn't do anything. I sold them. Look, it's up 75% right now. By the click of a button, I don't know. Let's just look at Digibyte, for example. Let's find out how much money I screwed myself out of. I owned like 4 million of these coins. Literally 4 million. At a penny, like 2 pennies maybe. Let's find out how screwed I am. Oh yeah, look. So it went from, let's do the math on that real quick. Let's find out how stupid I was about 8 months ago. And that won't be the last time I say that. So 4 million at a penny. What was that then? What would that be? 40,000? So $40,000 worth at the time turned into 200,000. So I would have had a 500% return on investment. I would have turned 40 into $160,000. I would have quit life if that happened. Wouldn't have to do anything else. Anyways, so that's what happened. Here's what I want to talk about real quick, because I'm not going to get too advanced into day trading. I want to just show you guys a couple small little keys, like small little hints that can help you identify market changes or momentum reversals, if it's going to go up and then turn around. So I want to show you guys that. You see Okay, I'm going to show you some really apparent ones right here. Do you see this candle right here? This red one right here, this long red candle. This is called a candle right here. And you see how it has this long little bar right underneath it. We can zoom in a little bit. This candle right here, it's got this long bar right here. Long bar, long bar, long bar. That often is an indicator when you have a red candle with this little bar right here is called a lower shadow. When you have a red candle with a long lower shadow, really long lower shadow, what's actually happened right here is green's going up, right? So green, market's going up, market's going up, market's going up. It's being tested. It's receiving a lot of buyer support. So this is the buyers buying the coin. And as they're buying the coin, the sellers are able to essentially raise their prices because they see that every time they raise the price, the buyers are just falling. They keep falling, they keep falling, they keep falling. And at a certain point, the sellers are not able to sell the coin any higher. So they actually have to lower their prices. So buyer support, market goes way up. And then what happens here is the green right here, this one, it closes. We're on a 30-minute calendar. So we're actually looking at 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. I mean, we're looking at literally like 8, 9 hours in here, right? This is the last 9 hours of this coin. Starting out down at 120. At 120. If you had owned Digibyte today, you would have had a 400% return on investment, okay? So you entered in owning it at 120. It goes up, it goes up, it goes up, it goes up, it goes up. And then the volume like slows down right here. What happens between here and here is this 30-minute cycle closes, new one opens. It opens, it starts going down, and then it pings right back up. And when it overlaps itself, it forms that lower shadow, this little lower shadow right there at the bottom of this green candle. Then it goes up, and then it goes up hard. It just has a very, very small window of time where it just goes up hard, but then it falls back down just as quickly as it went back up because it lost support. It got oversold, or excuse me, it got overbought right here, all right? Got overbought, and it just came down hard. Green closes, red opens at the top. As soon as it opens, it starts to go up just briefly. See how it's got a tiny little upper shadow right there. It goes up, comes down pretty fast, and then it just plummets, and then it drops down really fast. Like the sellers end up selling down the market. That's what's happening here. They notice that in order to keep selling, they actually have to lower their prices massively. And then it goes boom, right back up, gets swallowed right back up, it gets bought right back up. Oftentimes, when you see a candle like this, a red candle with a long lower shadow, this is oftentimes, not always, but it's oftentimes a signal that the coin has been oversold, all right? It's been sold too much. And this is oftentimes a sign of a momentum reversal, or that it's going to go from going down in value and change direction and go up. And that's what we see happened here. It went up, went up, went up, went up, went up, and then it got oversold, all right? And the buyers went like, nope, we still want to keep buying it. And they continued buying it, and it continued to go up in value until it topped out right here at 246 Satoshi, right? Topped out at 246 Satoshi, and it started out down here at the beginning of the day at 11:30. I don't know how that blue area just ended up there. I didn't do that. That's weird. Anyways, started at 120, went up, came down, got oversold right here. This is a sign of being oversold. Long lower shadow on a red candle. Oftentimes a signal that the market has been oversold and it has no choice but to continue going up, and it does. This candle right here, a long upper shadow on a green candle, usually means that it's overbought and it has to come back down. And that it does, and it ends up coming down right here. So long upper shadow green candle, not always, oftentimes though, a signal that it's been overbought and it will go down. Long lower shadow on red candle, oftentimes a signal that's been oversold and it will go back up. And we see that effect happen here where it actually does drop right in this 30-minute window, and then it goes up. Would have been a good entry point anytime down here. Selling right here, a little bit, not all of your holdings, but a little bit. Regaining right here, buying a little bit more, increasing your holdings. Selling right here, not all of your holdings, but a little bit for a short-term trade. And then seeing where the market goes again, and it might head back down and be a good entry point again. For me, Digibyte will probably be something that I invest in and I used to own a whole bunch. I think I still own a little bit. But anyways, I'll probably look for an investment point and see if I think the market's going to come back in down here. Because if I can get it anything around 2 cents and it goes to a bull run again where it goes back up, that will be a really good entry point to invest for a long-term holding and to be able to create a profit just like we saw there, opportunities just like we saw there in the future. So that's a little bit of what I wanted to go over with day trading. To answer anybody's questions about day trading, it's simply a strategy where you use Bitcoin to invest in alternative currencies, like what we just saw there, different alternative currencies, and you look for profits to buy low and sell high. I use a 50-50 strategy, 50% of my holdings in a particular coin to make short-term little what we call scalping trades, day-to-day trades, day-to-day profits. We just looked at a 30-minute calendar that showed like the last 8 hours of today, and we saw a couple entrance and exit points there to make profits. That would be day trading. Well, there's also day trading techniques where you have a long-term holding. So I do both. I keep a small amount of my holdings in coins to make little day trade profits, and I retain about 50% of my holdings in every coin for long-term profits. And that's the strategy that I use. And when you're day trading, there's one of two strategies that you can use. I do both. You're using alternative currencies to create profits in that particular coin, and when you sell it, you get paid back in Bitcoin. So you're using these alternative currencies to accumulate Bitcoin. What I do is I use these alternative currencies to accumulate Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. Coins that are solid, coins that are backed up by Fortune 500 companies, coins that themselves are worth billions of dollars. Bitcoin is worth over $100 billion. Litecoin and Ethereum are worth over like $50, $80 million or something like that, or 80 billion. And most other coins are worth billions in their total, market supply, potential market caps. So these really well-established ones, I'm looking for accumulation of Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. The coins that are already Bitcoin, or going in a Bitcoin trend like Ethereum and Litecoin. So I stack all those. I consider those 3 coins that are low risk. Those are basically like your backbone. And all the other coins, those coins are basically your spine, like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Those are your spine. Like you need your spine. If you don't have your spine, I'm pretty sure you die. But you don't need vertebrae. My mom just had one removed. It sucked. She looks like a horseshoe now. I'm just kidding. But she did have a vertebrae removed, and like you don't need to live with those. Like if you get a vertebrae bone missing, some people are born without one. You don't need one. So your spine is Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and everything else is like your vertebrae. And you use your vertebrae to like grow your spine. Each new one you get, your vertebrae is growing, right? So that's what I do. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, accumulation, using all the other alternative currencies to build up my portfolio of Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. So that's day trading. If you want advanced strategies, we can talk about that. If you want to learn more about that stuff in depth, we can definitely talk about that. But that's really what I wanted to talk to you guys about on this webinar. Now, here's what we got going on. I need you guys to stick around because I do have a couple things that I want to go over, and I will answer your questions. For anybody that is looking to get into cryptocurrency, that wants to expand their knowledge of day trading, that wants to be able to make a massive amount of Bitcoin profits and be able to stack their Bitcoin portfolio, their Litecoin portfolio, their Ethereum portfolio, I want you guys to join Millionaire Mafia Crypto Mastery, okay? It's a $297 program you will get for $147 right now today, just for being on here. I will type in the link. You can go there and you can get it now. MillionaireMafiaCrypto.com. All right, go there, sign up, get the course. It's normally $297. You'll get it for $147 right now today. All right. If you pay in Bitcoin, you'll see that there's a Bitcoin checkout there. You're actually going to get it 5% off, okay? So if you pay in Bitcoin, you'll get 5% off. But you can go to MillionaireMafiaCrypto.com and you can get that. For those of you that have the course currently, it is brand new. Less than a week ago, all videos, all modules have been updated. I teach you trading strategies. I teach you where to get Bitcoin, where to buy, where to sell, how to get Bitcoin Visa cards, how to day trade. I teach you my money management system. I teach you how to identify markets. Adam and Eve double bottoms, Adam and Eve double tops. I teach you capitulation candles. I teach you head and shoulders patterns. I teach you how to identify support and resistance, RSI, which stands for relative strength index. I teach you Bollinger Bands. I teach you about moving averages, all the different patterns that you can use to see, okay, well, what direction is the market going to go? And I guarantee you, like, if you learn these patterns, you will understand when to enter a trade, when to exit a trade, and you will understand to almost predict the future. Like, I would say so much to the point where you can predict the future, you just can't predict how far up in that particular instance or how far down that coin or that market is going to go. But for example, I have a crypto alerts and notifications chat for the crypto mastery members. So any of you that buy that course today, www.millionairemafiacrypto.com, you can come back to me and ask me for info about the alerts chat. Every single trade I have anticipated this entire time since I opened up that chat has been accurate. The only one I screwed up on is I said the other day, coin entry point, anything below 65 Satoshi, exit point at 85 for about an 18 to 20% gain. Well, it hit 109 today and it went back down. So the only error I've had so far is telling people like, hey, you're gonna make money, you're gonna profit. I said pull out a little bit early, which is fine because when you're overly greedy and you have a sell order in at 110, it hits 109, and you have 4 Bitcoin there and you would have turned it into 5.5 or 6, and you missed it by literally pennies, then you feel like an idiot. So it's better safe than sorry with that. MillionaireMafiaCrypto.com. Buy the course, guys. It's normally $297. It's $147 right now. I will raise it because I've put an immense amount of value in it. That is here. That's an offer right now today. I'm going to be raising it because I have more to add to it, and it's just worth a lot. I know what I'm doing, and this is the type of stuff that will create 6-figure, 7-figure earners. I have $780,000 accumulated in cryptocurrency. That's what my worth is in cryptocurrency, 780. That's all been accumulated since January 6th of this year. And 27 of the 40 Bitcoin I hold are from day trading, So literally whatever that is, 70% of it roughly is all in day trading. MillionaireMafiaCrypto.com. Anybody that buys that today, come back, message me. I've got a special bonus for you guys. I will tell you that once you have purchased because it's pretty exciting, and I don't want everybody to just scream and everything about it, okay? So MillionaireMafiaCrypto.com. Go there, buy the course, okay? Buy it right now, and I've got some special stuff for you guys later today that you'll be part of if you buy today, right now, on this webinar, okay? MillionaireMafiaCrypto.com. Get it. Next thing, guys, our Sunday to Sunday promotion. So from today through next Sunday, all affiliates, all current members, the Millionaire Mafia Crypto Mastery course, what I just talked about, and I guess this gives away my bonus, okay? Any affiliate or member of Millionaire Mafia right now that brings in 2 sales this week, just 2 sales of Crypto Mastery, literally 2. Go out, get 2 people to buy it, and both of your signups. So if you get 2 people, if you get 3 people, if you get 10 people, doesn't matter. Get 2 or more people this week in a Millionaire Mafia Crypto Mastery, and they will be added to the alerts and notifications chat, and you will as well. Normally that is a $30 chat for members and $100 for non-members because I only want action takers in there. I had a whole bunch of people like, hey, add me the alerts chat, and you don't even have a fucking exchange wallet. Like, you don't even have a wallet. You're going to sit in there, jack off, and not do shit. And I don't want you in there, okay? So everybody that's in there right now has paid and has an exchange wallet. What I'm offering to you guys is if you get 2 sales or more of Millionaire Mafia Crypto Mastery this week, from right now to next Sunday, we're going to close the offer on Sunday, you will be able to get into the alerts and notifications chat yourself along with any of your signups. So get 2 or more. It's a $147 course. That should be way, way, way more than that. I should add a 0 or 2. Get 2 people, and you will be added to the alerts and notifications chat plus any of your signups that you get to buy the course. If you get 2, 5, 10, doesn't matter. They will all be added. And every single day I go in there and I say, entrance point here, exit point here. And every single person that has followed my direction on that, has made money. I don't know if you can hear the noise in the background. My roommate that just walked by made $1,800 on Litecoin the other day. $1,800 on Litecoin. We've been making money on XLM. We've been making money on XRP. We've been making money on Sidecoin. We've been making money on XEM, which is Lumen, Stellar Lumen, great long-term coin. You're getting the notifications on that. So it's a huge value. I've literally been going out and promising people, like, if you buy the cryptocurrency course right now, you'll make money. Like, I will make sure you make money. Hands down, you will make money. Like, I'm guaranteeing that. I literally went live yesterday. I said, I am literally putting my dick on a railroad track and waiting for you guys to run it over, because you will straight up make money. That's how confident I am. Don't ask me to go put my dick on a railroad track. That was a metaphor. I'm not doing that, okay? I want that for a little while longer, at least till I'm like maybe 75. Then I probably have a need to use it, because it'll be very non-functional at that point, right? Unless I'm like Eminem, like in his rap song, he carries around a bag of Viagra. I could do that, be in like the nursing home with a bag of Viagra for all the 85-year-old ladies and walkers and wheelchairs. That's horrible. But guys, like, that's how confident I am. So get out there, get the Millionaire Mafia crypto course, millionairemafiacrypto.com. And anybody that sells the crypto course right now until next Sunday that gets 2 signups or more, every single one of you will be added to the crypto and alerts notifications chat, which is a paid chat. And every single person in there is taking action. All of them are creating profits. I have like 3 people in there off the top of my head that have never done day trading, aren't familiar with Forex. They've never even tried any sort of making money like this in the past, and they're all making profits. 18% gains. Somebody had a 200% ROI in there. It's common. This is the only industry where a 10% gain is like, you know, that's okay. Like, isn't that weird? You go into a bank for a CD account, you're like, hey, yeah, you know, you keep it in here for 6 years, you'll have a 6% interest. Fuck you. That's so stupid. That's dumb. No, 6%? What? I can do that every day. Are you kidding? And I don't have to have a fee that the banker takes out of it. That Wells Fargo thing. Fuck the banks. That's what I'm saying, guys. Like 200% ROI, it happens all the time. 1,000%, it happens. 10,000%. It literally happens only in this industry. Get the course. Okay, next thing I'm going to talk about. So I went over my intro, the IG lead generation, the Bitcoin, the special offer, the Sunday to Sunday promo. Last thing I want to talk about, and then I'm going to answer your questions. In 2018, guys, for every Millionaire Mafia member, I'm addressing all Millionaire Mafia members right now, and anybody that wants to be a member of Millionaire Mafia. What do you guys want to see in 2018? And I specifically mean, what do you want to see more of in 2018? What can I do to help you guys? What's going to help you guys to be more successful that I can help in? I want to know, like, for 2018, what do you guys want to see? I don't care if you tell me you want to learn about freaking something else, or you want to learn more about this, or you think you know, I'm not talking about like, well, I need to learn how to pair a Facebook page to my Instagram. I'm talking about like big picture stuff. What do you guys want to see? Semper Fi, brother. What do you guys want to see? What do you want to see? Like, what do you want to see in 2018? What do you want to see? I want to see some comments coming here. There's 24 of you guys on here. What do you want to see in 2018 out of Millionaire Mafia? Like, if it's a new course I have to come out with, if it's something we do more often, if it's being a little bit more active on Facebook, like, I don't know. What do you guys want to see? I want to just get some feedback. That's one thing I wanted to talk about this week with you guys. So let's see. Real estate. Okay. Real estate. Trending niches to start profiles and profitable niches. Trending niches. Okay. Trading and making 1K a day live. 1K a day live streams. Okay. Trading crypto. More on stories and Bitcoin. ICOs. Okay, cool. Actually, I cover ICOs. That's another thing. I cover ICOs in Millionaire Mafia Crypto Mastery. ICOs are something that they either go north, they go south. It's usually one or the other. And there's a lot of research that you have to do, a lot of parameters you want to look at with ICOs. Is cloud mining good to do, or is it just a waste of time? I wouldn't consider it a waste of time, but the thing is, mining takes a lot of power typically. It takes dedicating your computer to solving advanced problems and proving the work previous blocks have done, and it can be costly. If you're day trading, you can make a lot more money than miners. Miners are not making the type of money that we make day trading when we know what we're doing. They're not. turning 1 Bitcoin into 5 Bitcoin every single month or even 6 months. They're just not. But it's a very passive way to create money. I don't know. I haven't really focused on cloud mining. That's not something that I'm super knowledgeable about, so I wouldn't be the best person to ask for that, unfortunately, Charles. I would talk to somebody like Aaron Hubbard on cloud mining, for example. Caleb Wright, give you a little bit of a review on cloud mining probably. Anybody else? I'm going to answer all your questions in here, then we'll get off this, but anything else that you want to see in 2018 from Millionaire Mafia? How much would I need to have to become a day trader? When I started with $200. Once again, I'm not going to give you financial advice on that or tell you what you should do, but I started with $200. You can snowball it. What I will say is that the more you start with, the more you'll snowball. Because say you start off with a Bitcoin, you can do a lot of damage with 1 Bitcoin, just rolling it and rolling it and rolling it and rolling it into 2 Bitcoin, into 3, into 5. When you start out with $200, you might turn it into 250 and 250 into 325 and then 325 into, 500, and it'll take a little bit longer, but it can be done. So you can start with a small amount. Anybody else? Oh, Amazon. Okay, Amazon selling. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, anybody else can fill in there, but other than that, I'm just going to scroll back up real quick and look at questions here. So, Chris Daniel, any updates on our verification round robin? Seems like IG blocks Fuelgram and only pull actions, but only on a few accounts, not others. Hey, Sophie, what are you doing? Okay, anyways. Updates verification round robin. Seems like IG blocks Fuelgram and only pull actions, but only a few accounts and not others. I've noticed that as well. Like I said, I know that Instagram knows about Fuelgram. I know they know about only pull. Heck, they know about Blitzagram. They do. I don't know, Chris. I mean, only pull has typically been a really good scheduler in the past. Blitzagram is working perfect. It's working absolutely perfect. Couldn't be working better. So maybe use Blitzagram for posting if Fuelgram is not working. As far as the rounds go, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I should talk to Miguel and find out what's up. See if I can find out more than what he's letting out other people to know. Because obviously he probably doesn't want to, any sound business person would want to be like, yeah, it's not working because we're failing or something like that. So I don't know. And it might not even be that big of a deal. It could be Instagram's just difficult. It's literally like being in a relationship, if that makes sense to anybody. It's just not, I don't think it's going to be something that long-term is going to hurt us. I think that Fuelgram will probably figure out a way around it. They probably have to restructure their API. I don't know. I wish I had a better answer for that, but I'm not sure. Let's see. Oh, Sandy, yeah, my audience is largely between 25 and 35. I worry that my age could cost me followers. That's a point, a good point bringing up, Sandy, but I don't think so. I mean, I don't think so. Ellen DeGeneres is, I don't know how old she is, but she's got a lot of fans that are like, my age or younger and older, whatever. I don't really think that will cost you. I think that if people see the energy and that if they love the message and you're just energetic and happy and fun and providing value, that's gonna overcome age for sure. I really think it will. Most industries where, brick and mortar businesses, oh, you're 64, sorry, you're overqualified. Oh, you're too old. Well, we're looking for somebody more long-term. You'll be dead in 15 years. I'm just kidding, that's drastic, but like, I don't think social media is like that so much. And there's certain brands from a branding aspect that cultivate younger audiences, older audiences, and different things like that. I mean, but also on the reverse side, who the hell wants to listen or stay in tune with an AARP Instagram account? Like, who the heck's going to look at that, right? So it's okay having 25 to 35 your old followers. I'm not even old enough to follow you, Sandy. Let's see. Chris, I like trading. Luna, that's the reason why I was on this. Okay, anybody else? Nelson, please address platform to use since Bittrex won't. Poloniex, use Poloniex. Still really high volume. Poloniex has high volume, Bittrex has volume. They're the two highest volume exchanges. Let's see. ICO token pay. Yeah, I actually got in it before it was an ICO. So you can message me. I'll give you a link for that if you would like. But yeah, token pay I think is going to be a good ICO. I've even spoken with the owner. So based on research, I think that token pay will be a good ICO. They want to hit the exchange at $5. So what's going to happen with token pay exchange is it's going to, when it hits the exchange, which is supposed to be in January. So Afzal, message me on Facebook. I'll send you a link for that. I do think it's a good ICO. But if it's on a bubble before it hits the exchange, it's going to drop. If it's not oversold prior to it hitting the exchange, and the developers don't release a huge amount of the coin, it will likely go up in value, or it'll at least sustain itself. So I see that as an opportunity. And I've talked to the owner about both of those issues. Of course, he's not going to say how much coin the developers hold and stuff like that. But he was well aware of those concerns and recognized that they are both valid. Chris Daniel, do you know when Microsoft might start endorsing Syscoin or when Japan might start endorsing Ripple? Japan and Korea started testing Ripple 2 days ago. 2 days ago, they started testing Ripple. It's supposed to be in March when they go public with it, should they decide that it will serve its purpose with completing transactions instead of wire transfers for like peer-to-peer sending and stuff like that. So that's supposed to be in like March, but Japan and Korea already started testing like 2 days ago. All right, can you explain day trading more? Definitely we did. John, I appreciate it. The course well worth it. If you haven't been through the new content, go through it again. Sandy, appreciate it. Dagmar, can't wait to dig in this week. Awesome. Let's see. Luna laughed at some insulting comment that I made for sure. Okay. Private Instagram network to boost ranking account. Okay, I'm writing that down. Cool. Network growth on IG. Okay. All right, and then we'll end this here in a sec. Amazon. How much would I need to become a day trader? Can you teach how e-commerce and Shopify stuff work? We can get into that too. Blitzagram 2.0 available soon. Being developed right now. I want to go into beta in the next 2 months here. I can't really give a definitive date. We've definitely come across a lot of hurdles with Blitzagram 2.0, such as developers just saying, "Yep, don't want to develop it anymore." Hey, so we're done. That's happened twice actually. I would literally kick their ass 100% if I ever saw them, to be honest. So luckily, we're back on course. We have a really good development team on it. It's just taking a little bit longer than I wanted it to. But along the way, I've come up with a lot of really awesome new cool features that I really like. One of which, for example, is like, scraping content. You can do that with Follow Liker. With Blitzagram 2.0, we're doing it where you find a couple accounts you like you love the content, you think it's really good. You type in their usernames, you set it, only scrape content with 8,600 likes or more, only scrape content with 11,230 likes or more, only scrape videos with 180,000 video views or more, only scrape videos with 1.2 million views or more, only scrape content with 1.2 million views or more using these specific hashtags. And it'll fine tune and cultivate all that, smack it out on a wall for you to be able to post. It's pretty cool. So that's that. There's stuff like Fuelgram on Facebook to make videos or content go live on Facebook. Here's a Facebook secret. I'm not aware of that. I'm not aware of anything like that. There could be. Here's a Facebook secret for all of you guys that are on Facebook wanting to market on Facebook. When you go live on Facebook and you're done, take the link. Once it's posted to your account, take the link. Share it to somebody. Like share it to somebody that you think would love to see something like this, and then just share it to them, be like, and message them like, thought you might like this, just went live on X, Y, and Z. I know you're interested in this. Feel free to give me your feedback. Send it to them. Once you've sent that initial message, do this from your mobile phone. Once you've sent that initial message, if you go back into that message you just sent and you click and hold on the message that you just sent them, it'll say forward. And when you click forward, it'll populate like everybody else that is in your messenger, and you can literally just click send, 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 send. Be careful, pick people that you're not going to spam with it, people that you might have talked to before, people that will pick up value from it. It's a kind of requires a little bit of work with the strategy, but do it, send it to like 20 people, wait 15 minutes, send it to another 20 people, wait 15 minutes, send it to another 20 people. That'll go viral. That way Facebook's not blocking you from keeping sending it, but it'll go viral. It'll help that video to go viral. What day trading sites do you recommend to use? Bittrex and Poloniex. GDAX is also another one. So awesome, guys. I appreciate you guys being on here. This will be recorded. I think this was a really good, productive webinar. For anybody that didn't purchase crypto, do it. Got a big surprise for you guys, Millionaire Mafia, crypto.com. And the promo for this week, get 2 people or more to sign up and buy crypto. Both yourself and anybody that you get to sign up past 2 people will get added to our alerts and notifications tab. So I appreciate you guys. We'll see you on the next webinar. And I'll probably be going live on Facebook again tonight. So we'll see you then as well. Thank you guys. Appreciate you all.